Alright guys, welcome back. We are watching Sousou no Frieren Season 1, Episode 12. Last time, we hung out with Craft for a while. We waited at the harsh winter, already up so far in the northern lands. I'm just really wondering how much colder it can possibly get. It's like we aren't even close to done with this journey, but that was a rough one. Yeah, we finished up the whole arc with Granite, all that stuff, had a nice festival, ate some big burgers, and yeah, I am excited to see where we're going, I guess. Last episode was good. We talked about some themes. I'm wondering if that is going to be, like, continuing on in this next arc, maybe? Who knows? I guess we'll see. So we're watching episode 12. You can line your own copy up with this if you want to. We are starting in 3, 2, 1. Ooh, this is episode 12. I wonder if this is the last time we get the opening. I feel like I keep saying this, but sorry. Hmm. I have the right subs on, right? Yeah, I definitely do. Okay. Hmm. So I wonder. There's still characters in this opening that we haven't met yet, right? There's the other red-haired guy who looks like Stark, kinda. I mean, he has red hair, kinda like Stark. I think he shows up in a minute. I wonder if we are meeting those characters soon, right? Because if this opening does disappear soon, it was kind of weird that we had it for this whole first 12 episodes or whatever. And these characters that show up in it don't even appear while the opening's happening. But maybe that's not weird. I don't know. There's Kraft, and then there's that guy. And that guy, yeah. Hmm. And her at the end. Who, she looks like another elf, doesn't she? All right. A real hero. God, it's still cold. 29 years after the death of Himmel the hero. Swore Mountains. Friren's falling asleep as she walks. Oh, God. Yeah, don't fall. Okay. Like, you can't be doing that. How? Oh, true. Okay, what, like, yeah, you don't trust him? Okay. Like, come on. I guess. Now I understand her being protective of Frieren, obviously. Of course, I mean, Stark's not gonna do anything, but come on. Didn't believe in them, huh? Yeah. Why give them a bunch of money if they're just gonna go die immediately? Absolutely. Takes 10 years. The hero's sword. Oh, it's a replica. Just like Flom's diaries or journals. Interesting. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So they knew each other that long ago, huh? I guess that makes sense. I wonder how they met Aizen. That is a very good reason, though, I think. I think you can relate that to, like, Friren's reasoning for, like, pursuing magic, right? Said something similar about Himmel and his attitude towards it. Huh. Under, like, for her, I imagine what she's thinking is the connections between all these people, right? Yeah. Huh. God, that was a good scene. Fern, I'm surprised you're that strong and can carry her that long. She probably doesn't weigh very much. She is pretty small, to be fair. Most people, when it's really cold, Frieren, they don't just fall asleep while they're walking. So I don't. Did it really have to do with the weather? Aw. Okay. Don't make those noises, Stark. That's not like. Whoa. Hmm. Made it back on her feet. Wow. Must be a harsh place to live. Oh, hi there. Really trying to see as tall as possible. Oh, the village of the sword. Frieren doesn't have to be self-conscious about her size for once. Oh, it's a famous place, huh? I mean, I wonder. Yeah, the hero's sword. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Really is like Excalibur, huh? Did Himmel really pull it? Or did he have the replica the whole time? Interesting. Oh, okay. I guess. I mean, we were calling it a story. I wonder. I wonder. I feel like it would make sense if he couldn't pull it, honestly. Oh, really, huh? I like her. Yeah, it's been a while, huh? Interesting. Okay. The Lord of the Mountain. Hmm. Interesting. Oh, hi there. I don't like you. Whoa. Friren's attitude about this kind of responsibility is interesting, I think. It was similar, like, with cleaning up the beach, you know? I don't know. I don't know. She is a. Hmm. It's like she resigns herself to it, you know? People probably don't come this way very often. Yeah. Ooh, is that the cave with the sword in it? Wanted to show off, make a giant wave of snow. Somehow that killed them all. Oh god, there it is. Oh no. Come on, Stark, you got this. Fuck it up. God, the purple like gems on it. Can it like do magic or something? Ah. Yeah, how pitiful. Really trusts him, huh? Nice. There we go. Very impressive. Very impressive. Now I fulfilled my duty. Huh. Oh, yeah, yeah, it's still here. Exactly. Right? Interesting. Huh. So it truly is like a very meaningful object. It's not fully like a myth. Yeah. God, the camera had to pan down to show her. That's so rude. Himmel's just like desperately trying to pull it out. No, okay. Sure. That well, this doesn't mean you're a fake, right? Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think if he was able to pull it out, that wouldn't make sense in a way. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's not. I don't know. I mean, yeah, no, that makes sense to me. Exactly. I think it's just. Yeah, yeah. Sure. I think it's a meaningful story, honestly. But they were just people. Yeah. She's seen that happen with Flom, I assume, right after all this time. I mean, Flom has become like a figure of legend, not a person at all in most people's minds. And the same thing is going to happen with Himmel over time, right? Oh, the yeah, okay. His village, I assume. Interesting. Wonder why he thought about that when looking at it. She probably will be. 29 years after the death of Himmel the hero in the Appetite region, located in the northern lands, or Appetit, I don't know. Like petite? Yet another town. Frieren is chilling out. I feel like that would honestly not be that comfortable of a position to be in for a long time. Oh, really? How old is Fern now? But you should have remembered. Fern remembered and not you? Come on. Okay, come on. Figure it out. Kind of make fun of her. Fern already has an amazing present for him. Exactly, yeah. Whoa, she's so excited. Okay, okay, uh-huh. I'm ready. I'm so ready. What? Okay, what is he gonna do with that? Okay, Frieren, I understand, like, you're really excited to give him something that you think he's gonna like, but what is he gonna do with that? Okay, don't do that. I guess she deserves it, but not really. Like, she was so excited. Yeah, man, come on. God, she was so hyped. She had such a good present for him. Ooh, the ring. We still don't really know what that ring means. It's in the opening. She was holding it after Himmel's funeral. Oh, okay. Maybe you can start being nice to Stark. That can be his birthday present. Oh, not here. Hmm. Of course, of course. Doing all these things, huh? Stopped my rampaging cow. Yeah, yeah. Well, he might. I mean, I don't actually know if he would. I think Frieren just like thought he would. That's why she was so hype. But I don't know what he would do with it, frankly. Hmm. Okay. Like it's over. Okay, like it just looks like a cloud. She just runs away. Yeah, he just walks up to Fern and is like, "Hey, I saw a cloud that looked like a turd earlier. What do you think?" Okay, don't like. Thank you, thank you. Oh God. Okay, sounds good. Hmm. Ah, man, her attitude towards him really is interesting. I don't know. I say something, Fern. Come on. That's kind of a vague question. Did he even remember? Yeah. A birthday present. Come on. I said, "Whoa, Fern, come on. Don't just give up." He's not trying to be irritating. Sure, for my dead family. God, you have to say it like that. Hmm. Yeah, that makes you think about. Okay, I doubt that. Surely, come on. Ooh, from a village of warriors. Okay. Oh, God. Okay, Stoltz. There he is. Interesting. Makes a lot more sense now if this was such a powerful cultural thing here. Why Stark formed this whole mentality about thinking he's so weak, right? God. Hmm. Interesting. It's like, what, effort versus results in a sense. Okay. I wonder, is he mean to him? Or, oh, surely that's okay. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, no. So he seems to be very interesting. And yet it's his brother, it seems like, that he almost formed this inferiority complex around, you know? You would assume, right? Oh, yeah, it's the moment. I mean, obviously Stark was just a kid, right? Like, uh your brother probably would have wanted you to, rather than staying there and dying. No. In that case, I'm sure he would have, right? If he was in the same situation as you. Hmm. But that's what Stark always does, I guess, right? I assume he's comparing himself to Himmel the same way I assume, compared himself to his brother. Hmm. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Huh. What do you want, Stark? That's the most expensive thing in the village. Just a solid gold cuff. Whoa, she's doing stuff, huh? Literal hamburgers? Okay. Is it? Okay, if you say so. Well, Frieren was doing a better job with the whole birthday present thing than you, Fern. Come on. I exactly remember the last birthday when we learned that. Oh, it was from Eisen. That's why. That's why Stark always had them. Okay, okay. That is just way too much food. How much of it has to be wasted? Like, everyone who works hard is a warrior. It's like he's saying the effort part is the important part, right? Of course. Yeah, yeah. Oh, he did it too. Okay, okay. It really was like a warrior thing, huh? Don't tell the rest of the family. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense though, obviously. Did they really just die after that? Man. I wonder if Stark would even know, right? I mean, he ran away. Did he go back and try and check on the village afterwards? Don't start crying, Stark, please. You're gonna give her the wrong. Okay. The Fern, go pour it down the drain. Yeah, like, please. Nothing. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Okay, okay. I like that episode. I like that episode. That was good. That was good. That felt like some classic Frieren right there. Hmm. Okay, okay. Seemed like it was just all about like making an effort, right? And that being like the important thing, right? It's not about being the real hero or the results, I guess, right? Or knowing exactly what to buy someone on their birthday or, anything like that. It's just about making an effort. I love Stark. Stark is like my favorite character, which is weird because he hasn't been around as long as the other ones. But man, hmm, God, this ending is so beautiful. Okay. We will talk about the episode in the discussion. Okay, let's talk about the episode. This was a good one. We finally met the red-haired guy from the opening. Stoltz, Himmel's brother. So, man, I liked this because Himmel's backstory has always been something I've been interested in. We talked about it many times from just like that one line we had about it forever ago. The thing about him running away from his village, you know. So, yeah, I mean, a real hero. What a good episode title. So we start off here, finishing walking through the mountains, through the Schwer Mountains in the northern lands. Frieren is falling asleep as we walk. Frieren needs to like go to a sleep doctor or something. Like this is this is not normal. Like you should not be walking in the freezing mountains and start falling asleep. That's just not a standard thing. She just plummets face down into the snow. That's great. That's great. Strike wants to carry her, of course. And Frieren distrusts him. I I wonder how deeply to look into Frieren's like mistrust, kind of Stark. I don't even know if that's the right word for it exactly, right? I don't really know if it's mistrust or if it's like she's just really protective of Frieren. But she does treat Stark like this all the time, right? She always assumes the worst about him. Maybe not that she assumes the worst. Maybe that's the wrong way to say it. It's like it's just really she just looks at things in the worst way possible. She just she sees him do or say anything at all and she's immediately like, "Oh, he's a fucking loser." You know? Um and I don't know. I mean, it's a funny dynamic, right? Like I enjoy it, but I just wonder if like for her as a character or like thematically if that's supposed to mean something deeper. Probably. I just don't really know exactly, right? Of course, her being very protective of Free, and I understand that, right? Of course, but hmm, the king, love his beard, very ridiculous. Must be such a hassle to clean and like wash, you know, having a beard. Like it looks like it's so like thick, you know, like Jesus. That would be a mess every day. God. Sephirin's dreaming about the beginning of their journey, about Himmel and all of them setting off to defeat the Demon King. He is a replica of the hero's sword. Back in the day, a merchant who visited my town gave it to me for saving him from a monster. So Himmel was not destined, I guess you could say, to be a real hero, right? What does that mean? I guess there's probably some obvious meaning you can take from it, right? The idea that, you know, being born or destined to be the real hero, right? Whatever you want to imagine that as, right? Like being destined to do something or be someone or something like that. It's like not real and it doesn't matter, right? Despite Himmel not being the one who was apparently destined to save the world from calamity and all of this, not being able to pull the hero's sword, look at what he was still able to do. He's now known forever as Himmel the hero, right? Which I just think is really meaningful. Obviously a very pro like being able to change theme. You know what I mean? Very relevant to like Frieren, obviously, right? That's kind of Frieren's whole thing is she wants to change her attitude and her outlook on relationships and stuff, right? And of course, if Himmel was able to do that with being able to be a hero, that's, you know, very meaningful to her, you know? I wonder if that's why she thinks about like it in a moment at the end of this scene, she stands still and she kind of thinks for a minute. And it's like for one, I think she's kind of letting it sink in, like the connections between all these people that she's traveling with now and how meaningful they are, and like what that could mean for her. But also, I think this conversation means a lot to her because I just think I don't know in Fruin's head, I imagine this isn't something that she thinks is possible for her, right? Like I guess I don't think she's ever really said it, but it's something that I feel like is brought up a lot in stories that have characters that live a long time like Frieren. Which is the idea that because they've been alive for so long, the idea of them changing would be like really hard or like impossible, you know? And I just wonder if this conversation, if that's something that Frieren does think, but I feel like that's not really something that has been brought up. But let's just say it is. Let's say that's something that she does think, because to be fair, it has been hundreds of years of her being isolated and alone. Uh, that it's like made her realize that, yeah, maybe I can, I can change too, right? That like despite maybe that she, like because also from Frien's point of view, there's reason for her to think that she was like perhaps destined for things. You know what I mean? Like she was the only elf left from her village. Everyone else got murdered by the Demon King. She was trained by Flom for so long, told that her goal in life needs to be defeating the Demon King. So it's almost like from Frien's point of view, you could imagine that she imagines herself as someone who uh has like this purpose that she has like been given. Maybe that's too harsh of a way to say it because I don't really think that's how she took it from Flom exactly, but like maybe, right? And it's like Himmel's like attitude about this whole thing about whether or not he's a fake hero or a real hero, and it just kind of not mattering, honestly. It just being possible through effort. I think that could be very meaningful for Frieren and her attitude, like going into this journey. You know what I mean? Because it would be so easy for her attitude about this and all of them to be, okay, like what I'm doing right now is just fulfilling the duty, essentially, that Flom gave me. You know what I mean? But I think maybe this moment is kind of where, that opens her up more and allows her to find so much meaning in this. Even if it took her 50 years after the fact to realize it, but... He said, I'd only ever become a fake hero because all I had was a fake sword, so I decided I'd prove him wrong by becoming a real hero. So, Heiter and Himmel have known each other for a long time, which, I don't know, I like that. We didn't know that before, did we? Someday I'll acquire the real hero's sword and defeat the Demon King. It's interesting how Himmel thinks he needs to acquire the real hero's sword to do that, right? I guess later on he realizes he didn't, right? And he ends up not needing it. Hmm. Hmm. The passage of time is cruel. The bride who sent that to me is now a fake priest who just drinks all the time. And yeah, so Frieren just stands here and is just like thinking. Just all of these shots of them all like laughing and talking to each other and stuff. It just really makes me think. I imagine that's really what is at the forefront of Frieren's mind in this moment is the clear, deep connections between all these people, right? Especially like what we just talked about. The way that Himmel and Heiter have had this impact on each other in a sense. And like their goals in life, right? Like who they are. I just think for Frieren that has to be really meaningful. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Huh. Obviously, Himmel's attitude about things, too, is just like, I don't know, it's kind of just what Frieren needs. Hmm. A dream. So Stark wants to take Frieren again, but Fern still won't let him. To be fair, he is making weird, like, I guess I probably, when he's, like, doing this, and he's, like, making weird-ass noises, I probably wouldn't want to give Frieren to Stark either. But, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's funny that Fern calls Stark a perv all the time. Has Stark ever done anything remotely perverted ever? Like literally even the tiniest amount. Like I don't know. Like hmm. So we have arrived at a new village and we have this little I love like the shot that we get her at first, like her face fucking expands, like the lens of the camera like changes. She's really trying to make herself seem as tall as possible. She's shaking on her tiptoes. The Village of the Sword. Hmm. So this is the Village of the Sword, where Himmel is said to have pulled the hero's sword from the sanctuary. I wonder what Stark actually said here, because I swear he said something about the goddess, right? He said, like, Begami-sama. So, I don't know. I don't know. I wonder what word they actually used there, because I don't think it was just sanctuary, but I'm not sure. The hero's sword can only be pulled from the stone by the hero who will drive off the great calamity bent on destroying this world. So one, I guess the meaning we can take from this is one, obviously, that the Demon King wasn't the great calamity that's going to destroy the world. and like someone else is just gonna show up and pull it because it's a completely different calamity. And like I guess you could say that's it. But I, of course, like the idea that the hero's sword just means nothing, right? That it's just like it could be a tourist trap for the village of the sword. It could just mean nothing at all. And I like that, obviously. I mean that fits with the themes much better. Because it's like, yeah, the idea of being the chosen one, I think, kind of goes against a lot of stuff we're talking about, right? Because I mean, it's kind of all of these characters have this, change that they're trying to undergo, and it's like if someone can just be the chosen one and be destined for greatness despite not needing to put in the effort, that kind of, that flies in the face of so much stuff. So maybe the hero sword is literally a fake. Hmm. We arrive. Frieren gets to warm up. Thank God. Did we even learn her name? I don't even know if we learned her name. Do we? Did she say it a moment ago? If she did, I missed it 2 times in a row. So. Told her 80 years would be fine. Frieren really works beyond the scale of human lifetimes, huh? So Frieren has this interesting attitude about duty. Which since we just talked about it earlier, there is also there is the duty that she was essentially given by Flom in a sense, right? Obviously, Frieren herself had motivation to want to kill the Demon King. Of course, she hates demons, right? Obviously. Um, but Frieren's attitude about having a duty like that she needs to fulfill is interesting, right? She has thought the same thing about like when they went to clean up the beach, right? All those episodes ago, right? She really had a bad attitude about it, even though it seemed like such a good thing to do, right? And it's like Frieren made herself do it. She had a very just not a very good attitude about it. Same with this, right? Kind of same with Qual. Not really. Did we get the same vibe with Qual when she showed up to exterminate him? Not really. I feel like she certainly wasn't. I don't know. Maybe I don't remember it well enough. I feel like, but here it really shows it again, right? Like her attitude about this is really not great. Honestly, she seems so. I don't know, just kind of like over it, that it's just like this thing that she just has to do. It's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll do it, Uh, which it's an interesting attitude for her to have. Yeah, better to deal with this sooner rather than later. Just get it out of the way, get it done with already. It's interesting, right? In a sense, like for one, it shows that despite these things being something that actively she might not really want to do, she still does it anyway. She can still force herself to go along and do it. Which is probably a good thing in a sense, right? Um, but I don't know. It is interesting that she has this attitude about things. I don't really know what else to say about it than that. I'm trying to think what you could say that means for her as a character. I'm trying to relate that to other things about her. But I don't know. I'm unsure. In a sense, obviously, the idea of having this duty that she needs to return and fulfill all the time, they are things that link her to places and all of this, right? In a sense, they are kind of like relationships, right? And she's obviously, until recently, she's had a bad view and a bad attitude about relationships, So anything that kind of links her so strongly to all of these places that she has to return and do stuff. Her having this kind of weird attitude about it kind of makes sense in that way. But I don't know. Huh. Stark jumps down here and one-shots all of that. All of these wolves just dissolve. This wave of snow just obliterates them. So there's the Lord of the Mountain, which we deal with. Frieren really believes in Stark, huh? I mean, as she should, right? Yeah, makes sense. I would believe in him too. But there we go. And she says it here, right? Now I fulfilled my duty. Huh. Just an interesting attitude she has about it. So the hero's sword is still there. Which to me, it's Stark's attitude about it's kind of weird. But I don't know, it makes sense in a way. But to me, it's the hero's sword still being there is a symbol of hope to me, right? The idea that Himmel could do it without having to be able to draw the sword. Of course, right? God, this is like the camera has to pan down to her. It's so rude. So this hero wasn't the real one either. There's nothing wrong with being a fake hero. I'll defeat the Demon King and bring peace to the world. Yeah, it's like despite Himmel not being like given what he wants to do just on a silver platter, like destined to do it, he's going to put in the effort and do it anyway, right? Yeah, perfect. Makes it fits so well for Frieren, for Stark. Yeah, of course. Then it won't matter if I'm fake or not. Yeah. Well, it's like to me, it's like then he won't be a fake. You know what I mean? What does it mean to be a fake, right? We've talked about that a whole lot in another show, but hmm. It's probably done by people who wanted to make him a hero. No hero needs embarrassing stories told about them, like the time they failed to pull the hero's sword from its stone. Future generations always romanticize heroes, to the point that their original nature eventually disappears. Very interesting, right? It's like when Himmel told Frieren that, like, oh, we were real, It's like that. It's like that same thing. Because yeah, it's like Frieren has seen the same thing happen with Flom. Her original nature must seem so. She's a figure of legend now. You know what I mean? Just completely different. So Stark stares at the sword, and he thinks. Doesn't he think of his brother there for a moment? Here, let me see here. I believe so, right? Yeah, interesting. He thinks of his brother. Or is he thinking of his brother, or is he thinking of something else in specific? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Maybe he thinks of Stoltz there, but I don't know. I wonder. Because I don't think Stoltz is the legendary hero, right? Maybe Stark idolizes him to the point that he would think he is, but I don't know. I don't know. I wonder. I wonder. I'm hella grateful. That's just such a thing to say. I wonder what did she actually say there? 29 years after the death of Himmel the hero in the Apatite region, located in the northern lands. Another village. Must be cold up here. Man, so cold. Frieren is chilling out. I don't know if this would be a comfortable position, honestly. I feel like it would be, like, hard to breathe. You know what I mean? With your neck up on the... I don't know. I guess I've never really tried lying like that. Maybe that's some tech. I gotta try, but... Today is Stark's 18th birthday. For one, I wonder how old Fern is. If I was keeping track to the if I was keeping track of the years, I would know, right? Because didn't she say she was 16 when it was her birthday all those episodes ago, and the Fern birthday episode? I don't remember how many years ago that was, though. So I don't know. I don't remember how old Fern is now. Um, I like that Frieren remembers his birthday, of course. I feel like it makes sense that Frieren would be good at remembering birthdays like that, right? That she would really focus on like the things that she can easily remember that are outside of like personal things related to people. She's trying so hard. She wants to try so hard to like be good in these relationships she has. So yeah, she probably really fixates on making sure she remembers their birthdays and remembering all this stuff. Frieren starts getting hype. She can show Fern that she's better than her. She's so excited about this. And then Fern really rains on her parade. Man, she's so excited. The potion that dissolves clothing. Is there meaning behind the potion that dissolves clothing? Like, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know what I would say it means. Um, I really couldn't tell you. Um, all I know is Frieren was so excited, she thought for sure this is something Stark would like, and then, to be fair, I don't know. I don't know if Stark would like it. I don't know what Stark would do with it. Um, not much, probably. So maybe this was the best course of action. She picks up the ring for a moment and looks at it. I wish I knew what this ring meant to her. I really do. Something that she was looking at it after Himmel's funeral. It's in the opening, right? So obviously it's something personal between her and Himmel for sure. I just wonder why she looks at it in this moment, you know. I mean, if it's something very meaningful that Himmel gave her, that kind of makes sense for her to look at it in this moment, you know. But I don't know. I don't know. But she picks up this, which I assume, of course, is the yeah. There it says it right. Hamburger steak recipe, right? You can read it right there. Like barely, right? But yeah, Ham burger. There's the G steak. Yeah, very bad handwriting, but yeah, hamburger steak recipe. Hmm. So Fern needs to buy a present for him. He's out here doing all this good stuff on his birthday. I think that is, to me, that's kind of like the meaningful part of this scene, I guess. All of these people he's been helping, right? The way that even though it's his birthday, he's still going around helping all these people, you know? It's like, I don't know, I don't know. It seems it's kind of sad in a sense, right? About how the day that should be, should be special for him, it's like he doesn't even care about it, you know? And he still goes around helping people. Obviously, that's a good thing, but I don't know. It's like he can have a day for himself, you know? And she really thinks he's just sitting here like thinking. But I mean, he is in a sense. But I mean, what he's thinking about is the cloud that looks like boobs. So like, I guess it kind of does. But like, I mean, this would be an insane. If I saw someone who looked like this in real life, I would be terrified. Like, I, man, that is scary. I'll have to tell Fern about them later. I would, at least he's like thinking about you, right? Like he wants to share things with you, right? What he wants to share with you, I don't know how you're supposed to respond to it. Um, but, but come on, you can be happy. No matter how I ask, he'll know something's up. Then I'll just come out and say it. It's interesting Fern's like attitude about this, because she was so I don't know, I guess it's hard for anyone, right, to buy a birthday present for someone like this. It's not easy for Frieren, right? And sure, we had the moment where it was like kind of Fern felt like she was teaching Frieren a lesson all those episodes ago, but it's not like it's super easy for Fern either. She's gotta try her best in this relationship too. So he's never gotten a birthday present before because his family's dead and he thinks they hated him. Which is really sad. I don't know, like maybe, I guess. We don't really know his family other than Stoltz, right? But I don't know. I don't know. And Eisen, in a sense, kind of did give him birthday presents, right? It was the hamburgers, but they probably just didn't care about me that much. Such a sad thing to say on your birthday. Such a sad thing he has internalized. The idea that they just didn't care about him. But it makes sense. So much of his self-image stuff makes so much sense now because of the culture of his village, right? It was all just about being the strongest warrior, and that was all that from Stark's point of view, that was like his entire value as a person was relied on how strong of a warrior he was. So of course, when he ended up in his mind not being that strong, not being strong enough, I guess, by some standard, right? Of course, I mean, in a sense, it was like he ran away from the village, but I mean, he was so young, you know what I mean? It's like an impossible standard he was holding himself to. Um, he decided, yeah, he must be worth nothing because that's the environment he grew up in. That's all they cared about. Hmm. Despite training so hard every day, he still hasn't faced down a monster. Man, facing the dragon, right? It's like the say. It's like we've talked about this, right? It's like the effort you put in leading you to some kind of result, I suppose. And it's like, just because you haven't achieved that result yet, you haven't, nothing in, maybe in other people's eyes, or even in your own eyes, nothing has, like, come from it in that sense. So that doesn't mean the effort you're putting in is, like, worthless, you know what I mean? I don't know. Because, like, imagine if Frieren, after Himmel died, if she decided that, oh, I didn't put in enough effort into our relationship with Himmel, so I'm not going to do it now because he's already dead. like it's like if Frieren could go back in time and put in more effort with her relationship with Himmel than she would, but because he's already dead, then it's like no, it's over. I can't face down the monster. So Why put in all this training? You know what I mean? Like, hmm. I guess it's like in a sense it's like finding motivation from failure versus just giving up because of it. You know what I mean? Like, in a sense, I guess that's again, it's like that's such a similarity between Frieren and Stark. You know what I mean? Like, how for Stark, I guess he did end up not finding motivation through this his failure in his eyes of running away from his village. You know what I mean? For Frieren, her relationship with Himmel ending in a way that she didn't like, she did find motivation through it, right? She decided to start doing and trying more, you know. Hmm. His brother treated him well. His brother treated him well. It's very sad that despite how his words of encouragement that he tried to give his brother, that he tried to give Stark all the time, it didn't work, right? It didn't help his mindset, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, of course, right? It has to be so hard. It has to be so hard to not be completely result oriented in your mind, you know what I mean? Hmm. Maybe I shouldn't be surprised my family never celebrated my birthday. I was a failure who ran from everything. Yeah, I mean we've talked about it a whole bunch, right? And I just think I hope Stark is slowly working to change that attitude about himself, you know. It is gonna be hard, right? Interesting, he thinks about the sword again. I just wonder what he's thinking about. Is he thinking about himself with the sword? Is he thinking about Stilts with the sword? I don't know. I wonder. I wonder. Huh. I bet Himmel wouldn't have run. I think Himmel would have. I think in that if Himmel was in that same situation, if he was the same age as him, he would have ran too, right? Of course he would have, right? I feel like that has to be part of being a hero in some sense, is not dying for no reason when you're a child, right? Probably most heroes probably didn't die when they were 10 years old, if I had to guess, to for instead of running away. So, like, I don't know. Huh. The warrior Stark I've known has never run. Exactly, and that is the important thing, right? Is now that Stark is stronger, now that Stark has changed and become like more of who he wants to be, he hasn't run, right? He has, with his resolve, done things as well as he can, you know, and that's all we can really ask from him, from anyone, you know. He might in the future, but we won't let you. What a thing to say. Huh. Always comes back to that. So Stark wants to pick the solid gold bracelet. Probably the most expensive thing in the village. And man, Frieren is up to all sorts of things this episode. Make some big stakes. There was no way a person could ever eat this, right? Like way too much. I just in my mind, like sorry Frieren, I feel like there's no way these can even be good, right? They're so big. They're so like there's no way they're like cooked all the way. I like maybe if she's like I don't know, use some magic or something. I don't know. Just this would be rough. That's for sure. I understand because I'm awkward too. Exactly. People won't know how you feel unless you tell them. That's what Fern told you. Exactly. Exactly. So I mean, it truly is a warrior custom because Aizen did it and Stark's brother did it too. Everyone who works hard is a warrior. Exactly. Exactly. So, I mean, it seems like his family, yeah, I mean, if his brother felt the need to hide this, to say, don't tell the rest of the family, I guess his family really was that bad, huh? Just, man. It's like, I guess in a sense, it's like for Stark, he has to tell himself now that he deserves it, that he deserves this hamburger steak, that he deserves to be called a warrior despite having run back then, you know? It's like, and obviously he does, but it's like, just, that's a hard mental hurdle for him to get past, I imagine, you know? But he does it. He runs. The good thing to do in that case. And he eats the steak. Like we don't need the potion. Frieren, what are we gonna do with that potion? She just really thinks Stroke's gonna enjoy it. Okay, good episode. I liked it. Man, it feels like a return to like classic Frieren before we had the whole like arc in the demon village, you know. So I'm down for it. It was good. It was good. I am excited to see where we are gonna go. Yeah, I guess that's it. So please subscribe if you enjoy my videos. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. And I will see you in the next one.